This is the story of how a 30-second video completely destroyed me. This book, this 165-pager here, this thing goes into, well, it introduced me to the idea of what resistance is. But to understand how big a part of my life it really was. Look, there's a difference between people telling you a piece of information and then you seeing that piece of information for yourself tangibly in front of you. This project, this 30-second reel, for me, was this piece of information. Because guess what? Resistance galore. Let's ask ChatGPT. This is resistance in action. And I was like, let's just shoot some B-roll. So what is resistance? Pressfield describes resistance as this like negative, intangible force that keeps us from doing what we really want to. And it's really hard to pin down, right? Because it can present itself in like any different form. Like it could be as simple as, oh, let me check this notification on my phone, to something as complicated as like, let's go film B-roll of the trains. Instead of straight up just sitting down and editing this video, and I was like, let's just shoot some B-roll of the train. Now, Pressfield suggests just one way to beat resistance, and that is to just do the work. And so after spending hours in my own head about what this reel could be about, I just said, let's sit down and just do it. So I'm thinking we need to start with 3 frames, essentially. Just do the thing. Now I'm thinking in like puns, like could our trick be full of puns? But what Pressfield fails to mention, but what I will soon learn, is that resistance is not really a one-time battle. Like, this was fun. This was fun. Let's build this. Now, unless it's a big stage trick, I don't prototype shit. I literally turn the camera on and just figure it out as it goes. But for some strange reason, I was like, oh, let's prototype this magic trick that I've built like 1 billion times before. Why? Because I don't know. I know how to build this. This is resistance in action. That was my first encounter with resistance on this project. Resistance isn't just limited to the creative fields. I mean, I'm supposed to run a half marathon in a few months, and I'm not training right now because I'm using this as resistance. That's my cue to go run. A lot of these texts talk about resistance from a creative perspective, but there isn't really anything that talks about resistance from like a general perspective. So I took the liberty of penning something down. So this is what I learned over the course of making this video and the subsequent reel about battling resistance. I think the first step is to not judge your actions. Like, I mean, it's easy to go, oh my god, why am I scrolling through TikTok when I should be finishing this thing that I have to submit later tomorrow? Okay, so this might be resistance or an editorial decision. I went and got myself index cards because my studio needed index cards anyway. But in reality, it's so much more helpful if you sit down and you go, wait, is this thing that I'm doing right now, is that helping me achieve some other goal, some broader goal that I've set for myself? Whether or not this is resistance, is the jury's still open. But I'm going to make this reel. I'm gonna make sure that I can finish this reel tonight, one way or another. I think the next one goes kind of hand in hand with the first one, right? The biggest thing about resistance is that it exists for only one purpose, and that is to hinder your progress. My usual process is not working, so I need to change tactics. And if this change of tactics doesn't work, then I'm going back to this. If your current actions are improving you, helping you explore something new, or like helping you achieve a goal that you set for yourself, then it's probably not resistance. Yeah, I'm going back to the
Blank cards. This is not working.
But if what you're doing feels aimless, then it's resistance. This last one is a little difficult to put into words, but the whole reason you start something is to finish it, right? So similarly, the whole reason you start something within a specific timeline and time frame is to finish it in that specific timeline or time frame. The reason I chose to make this video or the reel was because I could finish it in like a matter of a weekend. Just remembering that, oh, I'm only doing this because I can finish this in a weekend was so helpful to me this entire time.
I can't really find any of my art supplies, which is a big shame. So instead, I found some supplies that are close to the color that I want.
This might look very different for you, which was like, oh, the thing that I want to achieve will take me 6 months to achieve, so it's fine if I'm working slow. This is worth it.
I am done with all of this, but the problem is that the mechanism on this first one is breaking. I don't want to redo this because I'm not going for perfection here.
Reminding yourself that there is a finish line and how far the finish line is oddly comforting, because then you know how fast you need to run.
Stop! And smell the roses.
And that was the end of filming the reel. I think in hindsight, the performance could be better. Ultimately, I got this out of it, so that's pretty cool. I think resistance is tough to manage, and it's ultimately universal. The only way to like beat it over and over again, it's not what you might want to hear, but see the project through till the end. My name is Ananya George. Goodbye and good night.